kicking for you like it's 9-3. You see, Rob impact the mic, keeping it real, G. Talk about relationships, money, and health. Dropping knowledge while I'm spitting it, that's a wealth.
Complex conversations, we break it down. Pop culture topics, we hold it down. Dive deep into society's complexities. Educate, entertain, never rest in it. Complex
Context, where the truth unfolds. Analyzing life through stories untold. Rob impact, dropping knowledge every day.
Unpacking life's complexities, one topic at a time. You're listening to Complex Context. Here is your host, Rob Impact.
It's time for me to drop some knowledge. I am Rob Impact, and this is Complex Context, your podcast where we do unpack life's complexities one topic at a time. We have a chance to vent and kind of talk about the subject matter, which is important to me, important to you, and we just kind of shoot the you-know-what together. So I'm happy that you're here. Thank you so much if you're checking us out, a first-time listener. We appreciate your curiosity, getting the better of you. You won't regret it, all right? I just ask that you give it a shot. Give me a few minutes and you'll be hooked in. And for those returning listeners, I would like to give you a shout out. I want to thank you so much because we do have such good support around the globe. Sometimes we have folks from various countries checking us out, and that really means a lot. So thank you so much for that. How has your week been? My week has been a very good one. We had Halloween in the United States a few days ago, and it was fun. I enjoyed being able to go out with the family and watch my daughter do her thing with trick-or-treating. She was a Target basket. And I know you're probably saying, I don't get that. Or like, what do you mean? It was a fabric-based costume that she put over her shoulders, and it looked like she was a shopping basket from the Target department store. Now, it might sound non-traditional, but for a family, especially a mother and a daughter who are extreme Target fans, it seemed most appropriate, and it was a hit. So she made out very well, had a lot of good candy. That grab was excellent with all the sugary treats, and I actually want to talk about that. So last week, if you happened to check us out, and if you didn't, shame on you, but I'll give you a clip, which we never do, but there's a reason why I'm doing this. Last week, I was talking about Halloween candy and some of the timeless staples that we need to continue passing out, and that I think a lot of kids still look forward to. There was one candy in particular, one chocolate I should say, that I mentioned really enjoying, but I was a little concerned about its distribution. Here, listen to this clip from last week's show. You know what I don't see a lot of, or at least I'm not aware of a lot of consumption these days, at least from younger folks, is Three Musketeers. I always enjoyed the miniature Three Musketeers, and as an adult, it goes down so smooth. And I'm not sure that we're doing a good job passing Three Musketeers out to our kids during Halloween trick-or-treating. So, I don't know, guys, maybe we need to do that. Now that you heard that, I want to provide a little extra detail and perspective behind why I said that. Now that Halloween has come and gone, and my daughter had her very, very overly respectable haul of Halloween candy. We sorted it all out. We saw what it was. We went through it all together. And what do you think she got? I kid you not, she had a huge stack of candy, right? All kinds of different sugary sweets and chocolates and a couple gifts here and there. And amongst all of it, you know what she received during her trick-or-treating? 1 Three Musketeers, the miniature kind. I am not joking at all. With all of the repeats, all of the variety, she received 1 miniature Three Musketeers. I mean, could you not have predicted it any better than what I did last week? What is going on? Please, can we get the Three Musketeers back out to the kids? It's a pretty good chocolate. I don't know why we're not doing that. And what do you think that she did with that 1 Three Musketeers when she was going through it with us? She said, "Hey, Dad, You like this, right? Do you want it? She didn't even eat it. She offered it to me. This is exactly what I'm talking about. See, now I'm on this kind of kick here. I want to get Three Musketeers back in the spotlight. I think it's very underappreciated. And even though someone like me enjoys it and can appreciate it, and you might be another one of those folks, which is why I'm talking to you, because you have some peace of mind here. But what is going on? I would never have said that with the notion that I was going to have that statement come to fruition that same week. It was unbelievable. I was like, come on, man. I was very grateful that she offered me one, but it's like, she didn't even offer me multiple. She didn't have multiple to offer. She only had the one. It was nuts. How was your Halloween and your trick-or-treating? Was everybody safe? Was everybody good? I hope so. It was a fun time in the neighborhood, and I hope your fun time extended beyond that day. But let's jump into some of the nitty-gritty of it all right? In today's society, more than ever, it seems as though we have lost, and I say we as all together, collectively, both you and I, we have lost our understanding of fandom and association and appreciation and really just a supportive role. And we have turned all of that upside down and have abandoned it for tribalism. Now, I know you can feel the energy, and you're probably saying, Rob, you gotta provide some context to this complex subject. You see what I did there? This is why you're listening, all right? It came from up here. I just thought of that right now. So that's what I want to do. What do I mean by that? Well, think about sports, right? Sports in the United States, I like some, not many. I do like a local basketball team. I do like combat sports. And if for those who entertain it and feel as though it falls under it, I do like pro wrestling. Sometimes I like professional bowling. Yes, that is a sport. And there's many other sports that we could get into. But my point is, unfortunately, there has been a long-standing tradition in the United States of people being so tunnel-visioned and tribalistic about their support for certain sports teams. And I've heard folks say, oh, it's all in good fun and I like giving people a hard time. Why? Why is that supposed to be enjoyable? I would think if you come across somebody, a friend or just an acquaintance that likes something different, a different kind of sports team or a different sport altogether, and you can't really get behind that, you can't really support what they're really appreciative of, don't give them a hard time. Why is that? Why has, historically, society normalized us giving a hard time to people who like something that we don't? I don't understand that. And it's grown exponentially way beyond sports into a lot of the day-to-day aspects of our lives that are extremely important, or even if not directly important, have some kind of significance to us. I say this, and I've expressed this before, and I'm going to state it again. This show is meant to be as relatable as possible on a number of topics without pigeonholing certain groups or without rocking the boat, if I may use a cliche, which I'm sorry, I ran out of words. I don't know how else to put it, but you kind of get where I'm going here. It's really designed for us to have a discussion, and in this discussion, I have to bring up the fact that in the United States, this week is voting day. It's election day in the United States, and I don't need to, and I don't want to go into detail about the significance or why that should be of any importance to anybody in the United States or even globally who might be listening outside of the U.S. But with that said, if we don't talk about politics strictly in a detailed manner, but just as kind of this overseeing balloon of a topic here. If you think about politics, that has become almost tribalism 101 in the United States. It's all about this gang warfare that nobody is in the gang, if I can be honest with you. Think about it. You have a lot of people fighting, quote unquote, for certain ideals or certain, I don't even know, bragging rights, I suppose, that you're not even associated to the quote unquote teams that are in the fight. And I'm not too sure what exactly folks are supposed to get out of this. What has historically been this overseeing premise of making checks and balances work as best as possible, or at least in a manner that can sustain enjoyable and honest life in the U.S., has become this laughing stock. And again, I'm not going to have this completely politically related. I don't want to do that, but I'm bringing this up because it is so significant in relation to this week and specifically Election Day in the United States. And I don't want to ignore it because this has become the, I guess for pro wrestling fans, WrestleMania of tribalism. It has become the Super Bowl of tribalism. It's become the World Series of tribalism. And at the end of it all, I'm not too sure there is a winner at all, either directly involved or from afar. There is no winner. This has become such an issue that I had to talk about it here. Tribalism has really taken over so much of the culture in the United States. It's disgusting, and I don't respect it. And it makes me hard to continue to respect people that continue to fall into it. I'm not too sure why that is. I know that, generally speaking, people have a tendency to want to be associated to a group or some type of mass gathering or understanding that makes you feel like how you feel is justified, or that you feel like you can have a thought or have an emotion that matches pretty closely to others, and therefore you feel like you belong. There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel like you belong. There is something wrong with you wanting to feel like you belong at the expense of your mental and physical and professional well-being. You might say, that's a little dramatic, Rob. No, not really, because we have evidence already of people sacrificing familial relationships and sacrificing very established professional tenures and throwing it all away for the sake of tribalism. That has not proven to be beneficial by any means. And nobody, to my understanding, has benefited financially, mentally, emotionally. There has not been any benefit to being tribalistic, especially when it comes to politics. There has been so much red versus blue and right versus left, and it's every cliche you can think about. And it's them Dems and them Republicans and all of that. And I will go beyond this politically shortly. Trust me, I cannot wait to do so. But let's call it for what it is. What you have done, it has not provided any benefit, any degree, measurable degree, sustainable degree of offering up ideas, solutions, experiences that people from the majority could at least, if not relate to, look at from afar and go, okay, I understand. It's become nothing but a bragging rights situation of tribalism providing the foundation. Why? What has that done other than cause mass chaos? You know, I see folks in their vehicles. And it used to be back in the day. Here I go again. You're going to go, Rob, you sound like that guy. Back in my day, back in the day, we used to sometimes see a political, bumper sticker. And, people would, they would just have a sticker, and it would be two names, and that would be about it. So that's my old man message right there. You would generally see a bumper sticker that had two names running together, right, from one party, and it would be a very basic sticker. No taglines, or if so, a very minimalistic tagline that was only a few words and was a simple kind of vibe, almost, a simple statement that was to reflect what their values were. And you just kind of took it for what it is and go, okay, I know who you like. Doesn't really affect me, but it's very non-intrusive, and that's cool. And what we would do, I say we as, I guess, my generation, or the part of society that can relate to me either in age or in mentality, when you saw somebody put these big signs over the highway, right? They're on the elevated roads or the bridges, or they would put these gigantic banners up in their yard, or they would put these giant signs in their rearview mirror that are poster board and paint. And they would drive by, or we would drive by their house. And you know what most people would say? They'd go, holy cow, look at that person's vehicle, house, apparel, etc. Wow, they're a grade A nutbag. That's too bad. And now fast forward, and everybody is doing the same actions that, say, 15, 20 years ago, people were like, you're a nutbag. So how has it gotten to the point that it's being done and it's supposed to be, acceptable? It's not. You're still a nutbag. It's just nobody's calling you out on it. And I say that not aligned to any one side, right? The whole gang warfare premise and the whole tribalism thing makes you look like a nutbag regardless of what side you're on. It goes beyond politics, trust me. It goes beyond sports. We've already talked about the sports thing. That's been a long-standing thing. And thankfully, I don't think it has risen too much further than what it historically has been for the past, say, 3 decades, right? You kind of have that there. I would just say, don't give people a hard time about it. That's ridiculous. But you have certain people that just, they have to be one way or the other. And if you're not with them, you're against them. And I say that's ridiculous. You can have certain grocery stores. We have 2 very prominent grocery stores in the Massachusetts area. And I'm not saying that there's not more than that, but the 2 biggest ones that kind of go head to head. And you could even go to retail, right? You think about your Walmarts and your Targets. You have that. You have your auto enthusiasts, your Chevy versus Toyota, right? Or your Fords versus your GMCs. You have some folks that are like, no, I don't. That other thing, that's total junk. I would never go there. I would never buy that. I would never be associated with that. I would never even give it the time of day. And I'm like, whoa, buddy, hold on here. That's okay if you feel strongly about something, but as soon as you start going online, being a keyboard warrior, and you're trying to go out of your way to put down a different company, a different organization, a different group of people that don't feel the same or promote the same ideal that you feel you have or that you can associate to, you're going to go online and take the time and energy to put it down. You are, even in a non-political way, you are the nutbag whose house we would drive by or whose vehicle we would pass and go, Holy cow, can you believe the amount of effort that person took in promoting what they believe in, not just in a casual way, but in a manner that also puts down people that don't associate to their beliefs? You are the grade A nutbag. And we have gotten to a point where everything is so tribalistic, it's become normalized. And we've screwed ourselves up by doing that. You know, you like Walmart? Oh, that's awful. I'm a Target person. Oh, you like Ford? Oh, that's awful. I'll never touch Ford. I'm a GMC guy. Oh, you like that political party? Oh, they're bad news. They're awful. No, I like this one. Oh, you like that kind of food? You like sushi? Ah, man, that's terrible. No, not me, man. I like Italian food. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have an opinion about it, but when you go out of your way to put others down because they choose something that you don't choose and don't believe in and don't understand, you are the nutbag who put that sign up on their house or their car from back in the day that everybody would point to and go, you got problems. The problem now is millions of people are doing it. And everybody is so caught up in tribalism that nobody can see. Let me take that back. It's not that nobody can. People have gone out of their way to not look in the mirror for a minute and go, man, I don't understand why there's so many people that like this, but that's okay because I know I'm not the only person that believes or buys or associates to what my preference is. And that's what we used to call letting things be. We're not letting things be anymore. And it has caused so much chaos in the United States culture. Our society is just a big bag of doo-doo right now because of it. And nobody is taking responsibility. The worst kinds of people that might hear this are the kinds that go, yeah, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Why I feel this way. When you have that kind of response, you're the problem. I want us all to understand, listen, you don't have to believe what I believe in, and I don't have to believe what you believe in. But I do believe in what we all deserve, and we all deserve to be loved. We all deserve to have our preferences at least heard, but without expectation of being followed. There's the difference, right? You can have your preference, you can live your life, and by letting things be, you can also be okay with the fact that other people are going to live their life and feel how they feel, potentially differently than you. And you're still going to be okay. You're still going to be able to go to school or to go to work the next day. You're still going to be able to have, hopefully, a nice dinner with your family or a friend, or maybe you'll meet up with a friend at a restaurant. You're still going to be able to get dressed in the morning. You're still going to be able to go, yeah, that's some good fresh air. You're still going to be able to go, this is a new day, and I'm me, and that's really awesome. And that's what we have to get back to. Enough of this tribalism bull. Enough of it. It has done nothing to help anybody in almost any aspect. Again, same like politics. I don't want to talk about it with any specifics, but you could take religion as part of that. That goes down a whole rabbit hole, much like politics, that this show is not intended for. But listen, I have my particular religion, right, and my beliefs, and you don't have to associate to that. You don't have to agree with that. I know that there are still people that at least understand it and can see it for what it is and go, okay, I can't relate, but that you do you. And I appreciate that. And then I got the group of folks over here that go, yeah, me too. And that's cool. And for everybody else, I'm not going to take the time to try and force my opinion on you. That's why it's called an opinion. Because if I start going on this diatribe about trying to convert people, I have kind of chosen tribalism. And yes, I will say, it does certainly exist, much like politics, in religion. It exists in so much in American culture and our society. It's out of control. It's out of control. It really is. It's not like when you were going to high school and you had the jocks and the nerds. That's just school crap. And I'm not saying that that's any better or any more accepted, but you know kind of when you're in it, like, like, I get it. Like, that's the thing to do, and that's outdated in itself. But that aside, that's not really the tribalism I'm talking about. That's more of like a status kind of labeling that really has very little weight to begin with. You kind of know it's a joke, but so many people have been so tribalistic in so many aspects in life: where you shop, what your political beliefs are, what your religion is, what your apparel choice is, where you decide to live, what race of person you decide to date. Really, again, I said it before. Just let things be. You do you. And if I can't relate, that's fine. As long as it's not doing harm to me or my family, that's fine. If I do think it has some kind of effect on that, that's when it's my responsibility to have us all talk about it and get together and understand and discuss this at home. I know it's another unpopular thing. Oh my God, you want to talk in person about it? About differences that you can't associate to? Yeah, from my experience, it works about 90% better than the let's whip out a phone or a tablet and try and have a talk with somebody over that about why you had such an argument over some tribalistic subject. It makes no sense. Yeah, talk to each other in person. We all deserve to be loved. We all deserve to be heard. We deserve to be just seen and acknowledged as being here. I'm not going to say that we deserve to be understood, because you're going to always have people that just don't. And they're going to feel the same exact way on other issues. That's okay. What we have done is we have completely eliminated the you do you premise. We have gotten rid of let things be. And coming out of this week, I would really like to hope that we can not get into this ridiculous conspiracy theory pattern that is going to lead nowhere. And a lot of times people do that. I kind of get it. As somebody who is anxious every now and then, you like to have control. A lot of people like to have control. I love to have control of what I do and what I say in life, and it doesn't always work out that way. I'm still struggling with being okay during those moments where I don't have control. And by saying all of this that I said, this is not a method of controlling anything. This is a matter of me highlighting and pointing out what so many people have gotten so far away from. They're too blinded to even realize it, is you're not going to be liked any better. You're not going to win any awards. You're not going to magically appear in an industry or in some type of professional field that you have no experience with just because you feel a certain way about it, right? I feel highly about eating healthy and having your vegetables. I'm not going to end up on the FDA by going on a vegetable diatribe. And it's not for me to say anything other than, hey, I love my veggies. You know, I love some good spinach, some good, what else? The carrots. I love carrots. I love asparagus. I love cauliflower. Some of you are like, man, I don't know how you can like all that. That's okay. I'm cool with that because I get it. I'm not saying that that's not an example of tribalism, right? You just don't understand it. That's okay. I'm cool with that. I'm not going to force that on anybody from the outside. Now, if I start hating on people that go to drive-thrus, say 3/4 of their week, and I start bad-mouthing them and make an effort to go against fast food companies while I'm pushing my vegetable agenda, you could consider that tribalism. But realistically, I'm not stupid enough to spend my time and energy trying to convert people, quote unquote, on something that they've already made their mind up. The best that I can do is express my opinion and say, with it, I will let you do what you may. That's it. That's what we have to get back to. And I want you during this election day week, coming out of this in the United States, to understand you're not going to always get what you want. We're not going to get participation awards. We're not going to find a check in the mail for supporting our favorite sports team or our favorite political character. I'm saying character intentionally. We're not going to get any kind of special treatment from any kind of chain restaurant because we decided to go there rather than their competitors. These are our choices. We cannot take the time and the energy to continue to put each other down for not aligning with your choices. And shame on any of us for buying into a lot of this whipping up of hysteria that American media has done lately. Because there's more money in having people fight than there is in having people get along. I hate to say that, but that's what it is. Media can do their thing. I'm not angry at them for feeling like that's the business principle that works for them. You do you. I'm just saying I'm smart enough to see that and go, yeah, it's not for me. I'm going to be over here reading my book and you do you. But why so many others fall into that? You got to question things. Not everything is what it seems or how it appears or how it's narrated. And do you think that happens to be a coincidence? No. How many times have I talked about the United States of business on this podcast? Come on. Out of this week's episode, I want you to take away this particular thought, okay? And I want you to apply it. Your identity is not defined through tribalism. I'm going to say that again. For those that have gotten so far into the weeds, it's hard for them to pull themselves out. Your identity is not defined by tribalism. I'm going to let you think about that, and I want you to have a somewhat fun and a very responsible time voting in the United States, if you are old enough to, And I want you to think about the things in life that you enjoy, that you have made the effort in denouncing people's decision making and their character because it didn't line up with your choices. Think about that. And when I'm back with you next time, I want to know that you've been a better thinking person about being able to let things be. Okay? Let's do that for each other. We all deserve it, folks. All right? I appreciate your time during this very intense episode, but enough is enough. Let's stop this divisiveness. It hasn't done a damn thing for any of us, and we all deserve to just have our thoughts, have our choices, and let things be. That's it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you would like to check out past episodes of the show, or maybe you have a friend or family member who does not know about Complex Context, make sure you give them all of our info. They can go to our official website at complexcontext.podbean.com. Podbean is Podbean. They are wonderful folks who distribute our program and host us. We're on over 11 different platforms. You can find us on social media as well, but I'm not even going to tell you about that because the website has it all. That's right. You can link directly to our X account, directly to our Facebook. You can get all the episodes there. You can find all of the 11 platforms that we're on, including a link to our YouTube. It's unbelievable. It's all there. So don't hesitate, right? Even if you want to email us, you want to let us know what you thought about an episode, you want to just say hi, our email address is on there. You can do it all. complexcontext.podbean.com. Check it out. Let's love each other. Please, if there's any time in the world that we need to love and respect the differences that we have together, this is the time. Thank you for your commitment to the show. Thank you for letting me drop some knowledge. And hopefully we'll do it again soon. My name is Rob Impact. Do what you do it often, do it well. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do, and you'll be doing all right. I'll catch up with you.
Visit the show's website at complexcontext.podbean.com. Complex Context is a Mass Ed Media production.